Hello everyone and welcome to Bevan's Bricks. Paulbot, Brick Sergeant, Brett. Hey, how you doing guys? And I am going to try and pick up where I left off last night. I have the one street, I should say, already in the city, as you guys I'm sure are already aware. And I don't have that particular camera queued up, so I'm going to have to adjust that. And thank you so much, R. Claxton. R. Claxton just donated $1.99. Super kind of you, and thank you again so much, my friend. And I've got to readjust my camera, so give me just 1 second, guys, because I'm going to be working over there here momentarily as well. Let me just get that refocused in the right location, because when I shut everything down at night, that particular camera goes back to its home position, and I want to have everything prepped so when I do get this fixed and made, we can go right over there and you guys can see what's going on. I might have to bring that up a little closer too, but for now we're just going to go ahead and leave it that way. I hope everybody's having a great day. One more day, guys, and we're back to the weekend, so everybody is working for the weekend. Hey, Dale, R. Claxton again, thank you so much, buddy. That was really kind of you to donate that $1.99. And hello, Brian M. How are you? And Clicking Cliff, yo, yo, yo. Anyway, something else I do want to point out real quickly. I do have at the top of the screen, for anybody that does not know that I have a membership, I have the link to my membership and also a link to my channel. Really? And I apologize for that little blip, guys. For whatever reason, my internet just kind of flipped out, so should be straightened back out again, but again, I apologize for that. And I just noticed that Brick Sergeant, when he did donate that $1.99, he said, good vibes. And what's up, Michael? And again, I apologize if we got blipped off there. Just trying to double check a few things, make sure my signal is back up and firm. And we are up and firm, so we should be good, I hope. Everything looks good, reading good. Oh, I don't know what's necessarily the plan just yet. I have a few ideas, but I'm still kind of on the fence, I'll put it that way. But I have a couple different ideas for a couple different things. I'm wanting to build a really cool looking building for Brick Fair, Virginia. So I might do something unique for that. Once I finally make a decision, I will start showing you guys in videos. But currently it's kind of not sure. And hello, Peanut Lee. You know what, just to get the party rolling, I'm just gonna go ahead and build this as is. Just because I wanna get this placed over there so I can start getting some other work done. So we're just going to slap this together. I will put the railroad crossing piece in later. And Clicking Cliff, how are you, my friend? We'll pop these guys on. I might have to go steal some more brick from my highway, the way it's looking anyway. But again, my goal is to get over and on the table tonight. And I am so glad to hear that, Clicking Cliff. And holy cow, Brett just donated another $20 and said for Daryl's next Lego brick haul video. I do those a lot, don't I? But I mean, you can never have enough Lego. And I know some people probably look at me like I'm nuts when I do some of those Lego hauls like I do, but dang it, like I said, you can't have enough Lego. And I wanted to have a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of different parts that I could physically play around with. And now I do. And I have a bunch of colors that I normally wouldn't play with, because I'm gonna try and force myself to build out of what I consider my comfort zone. I like to build in earth tones, and I want to build some stuff out of colors I normally don't use. Jonathan C., hello, hello. Paulbot says Greg broke the stream. Is it doing it again already? We've had some really crappy weather here, and it's coming back. So I do apologize for the glitchiness of the stream, guys. There's not much I can do about it, unfortunately. I am at the mercy of the internet gods on that one. And I think I got enough to finish this up. And make sure that isn't the boss. It's not the boss, so we're good. No, it's kind of stuck in transit. They haven't delivered it yet. I wouldn't say he's similar, because Brick Cash, man, because Brick Cash really has a limited amount of pieces. Don't get me wrong, IndieBricks is limited on a lot of his parts too, but he's nowhere near as limited as Brick Cash. Brick Cash's main focus is just quite simply plates, and that's it. Where IndieBricks, his focus is a lot of different parts, and he does have a ton of bricks. And that's why I try to tell people, but again, to get the really good deals when you're searching like on IndieBricks, for example, which is where I got all those parts from, you have to be willing to buy in a large quantity, because that's where his discount is, and that's how he gives his discount. Because I want to say the 4-cent price is pretty much a consistent. What I mean by it's pretty much a consistent is the prices that I paid is pretty much normal. But for those that like to buy quantities that are much smaller, he did do that sale. The sale's over, mind you. He did do a sale for a short time though, and that's why I had tried to notify everybody. So I'm hoping everybody that wanted some could have got in on that, because he does have a very large supply of a lot of different bricks. And again, that's why I particularly love his page, because of his large quantities. Because I hate buying from people that don't have a big quantity. It always just feels like such a waste to me if I have to order 200 from you and 300 from you and so on and so forth. But yeah, sadly, I've been hearing that from a couple people, Papa's Bricks. And it wasn't because of me. I mean, I have ordered several thousand from him, don't get me wrong, but I think part of the problem might quite simply be this. I think maybe I told too many people about it, and now everybody's buying them out of his parts. At least that's kind of the impression I was getting. Because the last time I was on his site, he still had pieces, but man, he was... that just does not want to scoot over the way I was hoping it would. He doesn't have as many as he used to have. Okay, let's... Oh, it's trying to bite. It's just, it doesn't want to totally cooperate. But I almost feel like maybe I told too many people by posting it on my videos, and now everybody's basically bought them out of everything, and it's kind of hurting everyone else. I'm still good for a while. And I have seen Brick Cash sell out of parts before, so this is not an abnormal thing for him. So I do fully expect him to restock a lot of things. Something though that I found odd, because I was just talking about IndieBricks, because keep in mind, I always try to remind people of this also. You can buy from them both if you go to Brick Owl, and you do not have to pay taxes. Because Brick Owl does not charge taxes unless you're in the same state. So I just want to throw that little bit of information out there also. But the reason that I'm bringing that up specifically is quite simply this. If you go on the Brick Owl website, IndieBricks' store is closed. So I'm wondering if maybe he might be stopping, and that's why he was doing some of his discounts, because he might even do some more discounts in the future. Brick Cash, I think, is leaning more towards selling on Brick Owl, and possibly quitting Bricklink might be part of the reason that you see the inventory change. Because if you check out Brick Cash on the Brick Owl website, he still does have inventory. No, it's not my fault. I will not take claim to that. It's not my fault. I didn't do it. Not gonna dare, Mr. Yakimoto. Not gonna hurl. Didn't I have them up here yesterday? I thought I had my baggie, my bag o' pots. I'm looking for, and I know I had them yesterday. I don't think I took them over there. I need my 1x2 tiles, is what I am after. I have my 1x2 plates. I do not see my 1x2 tiles. Oh, where? Oh, imagine that. I actually put it back. Paul would be proud. It's, let me double check myself. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Uh-oh. No, good call, Paul. What did I do wrong? 1, 2. This should be 1, 2. Something doesn't look right. You are absolutely correct with that, Paul. 1, 2, 3. Something is amiss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how wide it should be. No, that's right. I'm just double checking myself. Let me go over to my table just to look as well, just because something is amiss. Hold on 1 second. Let me double check my count over there, because I'm feeling like I screwed something up. As much as I hate to admit it that Paul is right. Okay, I made the road the right length. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just must not have it placed correctly. So let's come back over here. Oh no, it's Mr. Bill. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I just don't have it placed right. So I got to pull this back up anyway. Imagine that. Well, at least Paul caught it, so I have to give Paul credit. Really, Greg? He only has one light blue gray plate. Wow. Again, though, I would. Oop, I didn't switch the camera back. Again, though, I would check his Brick Owl site. And I say that. Now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we're cooking with Crisco. I say that because, I mean, unless he took it down, he still had a bunch of inventory on Brick Owl just a week and a half ago. So he should, doesn't mean he does, he should still have inventory, but, and I broke my freaking nail. There we go. But like I said, it doesn't mean he does. I do know that he was having some problems with Bricklink, so I think he might be trying to get out of selling on Bricklink, and the problems were Lego Corporation related. I don't know specifically what it was, but like I said, I do know that he was having a few problems. And he had shut his store down for a very small time frame. But last I saw it, he had it back open. Yes, I ended up switching back. Way too many llamas. I'm going to use the new road plates to build a highway at some point. Tyler says, what would you do if, when you okay, so he said yes, would go? I am assuming you're talking to someone else. Greg says, yes, I'm on his Brick Owl store. Oh, it's just one. Okay, wow. Like I said, he might be getting out of it. I mean, he was a great source for a long time, but that is the downside to giving people your sources when you are trying to purchase stuff, is that people like to go there and then they don't leave any for anyone else. Do 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 do. You know what? Screw it. I'll just line the whole thing with them. It'll make it stronger. Sup, Lego Joe? Okay, so other colors, he still does have a big inventory. So he probably just, because I don't know if you've ever looked for gray plates anywhere else. They are predominantly crazy priced. It could even be that a competitor just bought all of his inventory, man. For all I know, and then I'm just throwing out guesstimates. I'm not throwing out anything concrete, so I don't want to give any bad rumors to him. But that's why I said it's very possible that it could simply be that somebody bought out his inventory, because his competitors' prices were much higher. The average price for a 4x4 light blue gray, I want to say, is in the 20 cents a piece range. So the fact that he always sold them that cheap, I was always baffled by. But that's also why I used to tell everybody to go there all the time. Michael, dang Lego hoarders. See, I don't hoard too bad. Don't get me wrong, I still hoard, but I don't hoard too bad. Generally what I do is I will order, I don't know why 2,000 is a nice number for me, but typically I will hoard in the neighborhood of, I will order, I should say, in the neighborhood of 2,000 at a time. And when I feel like my numbers are starting to dwindle, that's when I will reorder. And that was why I didn't want to do it that way originally. It just re-hit me. Or do I want to do it? Oh, what the McDuck. We'll just do it that way. I'm just going to run with it. I don't care if it's a mistake. And hey, Anthony Perot, how are you? Sacre bleu. But I know, like Indie Toys, I'll use him as an example again. He's got a pretty good size inventory going, so. Not quite the inventory Brick Cash has as far as quantities, but he still has a pretty good size. For those of you that like to buy larger quantities. Well, I wouldn't feel bad about that. I clean stores out all the time if I find a part that I need on a good price. Don't feel bad at all. You're just the one that got it first, that's all. The problem is those masonry bricks are really hard to come by. I'm gonna put bricks in between there. I don't know where I'm putting my driveways or nothing, so I'm just making it easy, so once I get it over there, it doesn't matter what I do with it, I can stick it anywhere. No, you do not normally build this way though, I want to say that. For anybody that's watching me and wondering what the heck I'm doing, I'm just trying to make sure this is fulfilled in the manner and fashion of which I see fit. I don't know anybody else that has 4x4 plates that are cheaper than Brick Cash. That is the only person I know that sells them that cheap. That's why I used to always tell everybody that I could about him. Hopefully he gets some more of those light blue gray plates in stock, because that is, I mean, I'm good. I think I've got like 3,000 myself already, so I don't have any worries about running out anytime soon, but you know, it's always scary when you get a little low on parts. And hello to Texas, and how you doing, Raymond? There's only two things that come from Texas. And let's just run it. Let me get some greens. I've had tons of orders with my pick-a-brick orders taking too long. And it's not just me, it's everybody is having problems with Bricklink orders taking too long here lately, it seems. But A lot of that, it's like I had showed in that last news video I did, is because of the changeover they're about to do. And I want to relocate my camera here so you guys can see a little bit better of what I'm doing. So bear with me for a momento, and then I got to get my remote control and re-zero it out. So give me 1 minute, guys, while the picture's a little wonky. It'll just be one momento. One momento. And I forgot to turn on my other monitor, so I'm not seeing comments. Give me 1 second. I'm a bit disorganized today, I'm seeing. Let's turn that down. Gonna go around town. And we want you to go just a little bit more down. And I'm thinking I want you to zoom out just a tee bit. And I'm gonna adjust this just a tad bit this way. I apologize for the shakiness of the camera, guys. Let me scoot it back just a little bit more. Like I said, I know I am not the most organized person today. Because I'm not like you, Paul, it doesn't matter what they go with. I like everything, so I put it all together. Now that monitor should be coming up. Come on. So I want to be able to see what I'm talking about and who I'm talking to. Now that I'm over here though, what I'm going to be doing, because we got to get, part of my goal here was to get these lined up. That way I know where I'm going to have my driveways. And then I also have to do, and that's why I don't want to place these just yet, I've got to get my lamp posts going out here. Let me turn the sound on that down just a tad also. So let me get my other remote. I need to have multiple control stations. Turn down. That radio's too loud when I'm close to it, that close anyway. Greg says this camera angle is perfect. Let me get my street lamps because I can't start anything without those. Let me find them, and I also need my testing power supply. So I have that. And there's my lamp posts. Okay, now we're cooking. Because part of my plan today is I want to get these filled out. And I want to make sure that they're working. And the extension cord is not going to be long enough, so I am just going to wing it. I'm not going to worry about finding an extension cord right now. The first thing I got to do though is I got to rip some of this off. And good evening, a chip off the old block toys. Papa's Brick says he's going to go play Lego shop and listen and build. And that sounds like a good plan, my friend. Get off of there. Okay, now the first post we're going to take, because I want to, this is all going to get illuminated. And just to show you guys, when I order anything with lighting, and these are from IndieBricks, I always get the dual cord. So as you can see, I have an in and an out. And there's a very specific reason I do that. It's because I want to have this one go to the next light, and I want to have enough that I can come out and over and plug into something over here. And that is exactly why I do that. I would, well, as far as pick-a-brick orders go, because of the changes that Lego is going to be making, I don't know if you're aware of this or not, but they're about to combine their, and I need a jumper. They're about to combine the pick-a-brick and the Bricks and Pieces online store. So there's a lot of us, and I mean a whole lot of us, that are currently waiting for our parts that we've had ordered for a while. I know I've been waiting for quite a while myself anyway. And I think you're going to find there's a lot of us waiting, because I know I hear from every day from people talking about that they ordered stuff back in December just like me, and they still have not received it yet, and it sucks. Oh, it sucks. But hopefully that'll be getting resolved at some point here in the near future. And I am going to want, let's see, this placed there. And then oop, I didn't want that up atop though. I will come back to the comments momentarily. My problem is he needs to be below the plate. That's what I'm after. Because he's going to go right there. And this wire is not cooperating with me today. Okay, so I'm going to have one lamp post there. Now let's get our next one. Yeah, I see a bunch of people. I see Raymond is saying that, Michael is saying that, and Red Coat Kyle, hey, how you doing, my friend? Brett says he's so jealous of all of us guys with your Lego shops, basements, and barns. And don't ever be jealous, my friend. It's taking me a long time. I don't know what your age is, but I can tell you, me personally speaking, number one, I've been collecting all this stuff for 22 years now. And I built the barn myself is the only reason that I have this. Because if I was to pay somebody to try and do this barn, I can tell you right now, I would not have a barn. But I am very blessed that I was able to build this myself. And this, because without me building this myself, I can guarantee you I would not have it. Now, mind you, I did pay for a lot of the rough-in work. So the rough-in work was done by somebody else, but all the electrical and all that good stuff was done by myself. And that's why I have what I have. Before I had this, though, I did have a house with a basement as well. So that is another way to go. And bear with me. I am trying to finagle where this light is going to go. So if I go here, nope. I need my, there they are. So that's going to go right, 1, 2, it's going to go right on those dudes. Okay, so I need this to go here. And then that's going to get popped down right there. And now I got to take a plate and put it there. And that needs another piece before I do that. And what can I steal? Let me get 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me get another little green brick over here. go. I'll just grab a stack of them. The volume shouldn't be low. I have it turned full blast. I don't know what to tell you on that one, Paul. I'm probably talking low, but it's hard to speak up when I'm leaning over a table. And thank you so much to Chip Off the Old Block. He said, let's kick it up a notch. And you gotta go there. Now, need another light. So my goal is to get this all plated in and get the fences out today. And thank you, Greg. He says it's just me talking low. Paul's just not happy unless he has something to complain about. Like I said, it's hard for me to bend over and then talk loud at the same time. And these gotta go. Okay, I'm going to get in the way of the camera for a minute. So it's easier for me to reach this way. And I'm going to be tucking more of that in as I go. I'm not super worried at the moment. Let's see, that's going to go there, so that's going to go... That's going to be an oddball one, so... I'm trying to think of how I want to hide which way. I guess I'll just put it this way and it'll be visible. Oops. Get that. One more post to go. I think both of these are going to be a little bit goofy in the aspect of where the lights are for my plates, but that's okay. We will deal with it. No, we got a little bit of a dusting for snow, but nothing stuck, thank goodness. Nothing that was permanent on the ground anyway. It all pretty much went away. It's freaking cold out though. And hello, Drifting Samurai. Dale says he just wishes he could leave his Lego out permanently, and I get that too. You know, I've seen a lot of different people do a lot of different things in a lot of different ways in order to be able to have their own Lego space, and that's two of the best things I've ever seen is a closet setup with a ton of shelving in it. And then my other favorite thing that I always like to tell everybody, if you want to leave it out and you don't have much space, get yourself some shelves. That's the best thing I can tell you, is get yourself some shelves. And you will be extremely happy when you do, I promise. Now this is where I made a bit of an error, so I'm going to pull this back over for a minute, because this wire's got to come over, and I'm just going to leave it there. And the reason that I'm doing that is I'm going to have street poles on this side as well once I get the houses in. I'm just trying to make sure I'm not blocking anything. So what we're going to do here is I got to pop this guy up for a moment on both sides, because that's where I'm going to bring the wire through. And then I got to count, we got 4. So I'm going to have that one there. So I am going to take out 4 this dude here to bring my light wire over to this side. And then I'm going to stick everything back down once I get that placed over here. If I can get this brick out of my way. Okay, where'd you go? Oh, what the hell? Come on now, cooperate. There you go. Don't you dare fall back out. And trying to make sure this is staying free. Once I get this all snapped down, I shouldn't have to worry about the plug coming back across. There we go. There we go. Now I can slide this back up so I know where I got to place it. And the placement is going to be a little goofy on this one too. That is going to go right there. There we go. And now what I have to do is tuck all this wire in. So I need to get two more of these, and then I've got my green plates. So let me grab some parts. And let me try and read a few comments here real quick. It's in the teens in Texas right now. Holy crap, it got colder. I don't know how it got colder. When I was down there, it was like 36 degrees, and I thought that was nuts for Texas. Lego Joe says it's 17 there. Aces and eights. Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for signing in. And thank you so much, guys, for constantly yelling about the no likes. So I really do appreciate that. South Texas, man, that's crazy. Michael Fuji says, bam! What are we bamming? Bam! What are we bamming? I'm looking for a bam. I don't see a bam. Let me grab a few more parts. But yeah, it's been unseasonably cold everywhere, I think. And now let me come back. I think I got enough parts together. Dale says you can all keep your snow. We're sitting on 70 inches of snow. Most fell between Christmas and New Year's. Holy crap. Rita Wilson was asking, shelves or bookcases? Bookcases work, but I always say shelves, and let me explain why. I say shelving because if you take those shelves, you can go to Home Depot, you can go to, I don't care, Big Lots, you can go to Lowe's, or pretty much any home improvement store you can kind of think of. And I'm trying to twist my wires to get them to where they will go inside this cavity. If you go to those stores, you can buy, you can buy shelving, or you can buy the shelving brackets, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And when you buy those shelving brackets, it's the metal bracket, and I'm trying to see if I have one handy, and I do not. So I physically need to buy some to show you guys and make a video about what I'm talking about. But if you buy these, they sell these metal brackets that you can use for shelving. And what's awesome about them is on those particular brackets, they have holes. So you can screw to the board that you're going to put on it. And what I always recommend to people, because this is probably the cheapest and easiest way to do it is if you take what I'm talking about, those metal brackets that I'm talking about, you can make any length shelf you want. So if you have a bedroom that is 10 by 10, you can get a piece of 2 by 12 that's 10 feet long, and then you can put multiple 10-foot long shelves. And then that gives you a multiple tiered city display or space display or a city and underwater and mining and whatever you can think of on each different level. And it helps you do a lot of different things, and it helps with saving space. But again, you got to buy the metal brackets that I'm talking about because they have the screws and all that in them. And I know I used to have some because I actually did that a long time ago. And I was gonna say my glass shelving has it, but no, it doesn't. But that to me is the best and easiest money saver and space saver you can possibly come up with. Brett says 60s and sunny here in California. Well, the only thing I can say is it's nice and 70 in my Lego barn. So that's the only advantage that I can say, is that at least my barn is heated, so I don't have to deal with anything like that. But it's definitely not sunny. It was cloudy all day. It was really crappy weather where I'm at. So I have to say, you're jealous of my barn. I'm jealous of your temps. And yes, I agree with Dale, because like he's saying, the shelves work much better. Because see, the problem is if you buy those cabinet things, like what a lot of people always think I'm talking about, is you're limited on your length, and then because the shelving, the way the shelving's made, you're limited on your height, because it's generally, I mean, you can adjust them, but there usually comes in a max minimum spacing for your shelving units. And that's why I always recommend to people that you should just make your own. Because to me, that is by far the best, I mean, the best way to do it. And let's put, and I keep saying I'm gonna make a video on it, and I keep forgetting to do it, guys. So I have to apologize on that. I'm a little bad at keeping up on some of my video stuff. I'm kind of like a deer in the headlight, you know, or just I'll get an idea and I'll start thinking about something, but all of a sudden it's squirrel, you know. And my mind jumps, and then I totally forget what I was originally doing. So I need to work on that. But I will try and make a video about that at some point in the near future. I have to fill in 1, 2, 3 small cavities, and then I'm going to, I wanted to put a light blue-gray line in front of all those driveways. So let me go grab a few more pieces, and as I'm walking over there, I will try and catch a couple comments. Kenneth Swan says 17 degrees and windy in Kansas. No, you don't love it. Paulbot says I use 10-inch by 48 shelves from Walmart. They are under $5 a shelf, and the brackets are 97 cents a piece. Well, see, there you go. That's an excellent idea, and that's a very, very, very good idea, Paulbot. Everybody's talking about their weather. I didn't realize you were in Alaska either, Dale. That's something I have to ask, Dale, because I've always heard this, and if it's true, I do not know how people can do it and how they can live out there and tolerate that. I always heard that it's basically dark 6 months out of the year, and then it's daylight 6 months out of the year. And when I say it's dark, I mean it is literally nighttime 6 months out of the year. Is that true? Because I don't know how the heck anybody could possibly live that way. I gotta have my sunlight. And to me, if you were living like that, I would think that it would probably drive you absolutely insane. Quite simply based upon the fact that you don't know, you never know what time of day it is. Papa's Brick says those daggone squirrels are over at his place too. And Get the Brick, thank you so much. He says, just sending out support, like the stream, family. And thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Get the Brick. That's very kind of you, my friend. Very, very, very kind of you. And I am over here, bear with me. I thought I had my chain set out. Shiny squirrels, yes. But I do, I mean, I'll be the first to admit, man, I get distracted all the time. And then it doesn't help because, I mean, this doing YouTube is still just a part-time thing for me at the moment. So my work kind of squirrels me all the time, I guess would be a good way to put it, and distracts me. I got my chains. But like I said, I really do plan on making a video on that at some point. Okay, it's northern Alaska that's daylight and nighttime like that, okay. Because I've heard that before. I've heard that from a few different people, and I always think, oh my God, how could anybody possibly live that way? That would just, I mean, to me, it would just like kill you. Real quickly, what I'm doing now, guys, is I need to relocate the fences. And I'm wondering, you know what, let me fill in that curb real quick too, because that'll make it look a little better. We'll get it more finished look by me doing that. So let me get some parts for those. What are those? I should have a bag, and I do. I have a whole big bag of 1x8s. Rita, the brackets, if you're gonna do the bracket method, it depends on the size of the piece of wood. And it also depends on, quite simply, what are you planning on putting on them? If you're just gonna be putting, like the Lego modular buildings, for example, it's not really that big of a concern. I would put them approximately 16 to 30, oh, I'd put them about 32 inches apart. That should be a pretty safe bet. If you're gonna be doing, which I'm gonna think with shelving, you're not gonna put something too large, but if you're gonna be doing large builds, you definitely want them closer. But again, it does also depend on what you're gonna be using. If you're gonna be using those shelves that Paul Bot is recommending, those are, I wanna say they might be 1/2 inch thick. So the support ability of those particular dudes is not quite the same as what I like to do, which is I like to use 2x12 when I do it that way, because the 2x12 gives you a lot of rigidity. Gives you a lot of strength. Come here. And now, but to go the cheapest route, I would do like what Paul was saying, because you don't have to spend a fortune to be able to display stuff. I would just go ahead, buy the cheaper shelving like he's talking about, because you can get the shelving and do it all yourself fairly quickly, fairly cheaply. Make sure, or try and make sure though, that you're going into a stud in the wall, just to try and make sure you have good support. Because if you're not going into a stud, it's going to be flimsy, and you don't want your Lego displays to fall down. So that is a key factor in doing that. And I also want to point out that I do have videos on my other channel, Bevan's Builds, that shows you, quite simply, how to find the studs in your wall. There's a couple different methods. I believe I made one video where it explains 5 different ways to find a stud in your wall. And we're going to take that apart now. The spacing on the fence, just so you guys know, is 4 studs in between. With this particular chain, what's the part number on the chain? I don't know off the top of my head, but it keeps it nice and uniform in size, as you can see, I hope. And then we'll add some plant life and all that once we get all this good stuff put in. And I will come back to the comments here in just a second. Oh, holy crap, I'm missing donations. Michael, thank you so much. Michael just donated $5. Very, very kind to you, my friend. Very, very kind to you. I really appreciate that. And somebody else, Butter Hero, is giving you a great explanation, because the recommendation that Paul's giving you would be the MDF shelves. So you would want to listen to what he is saying on that one. They do give more flex, but they are great because they're very smooth for custom shelves. I'm trying to read some of your guys' comments real quick. Thank you so much. Kenneth Swan just donated for tips as well. He said, for always, all the great tips. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate that. Jennifer Gaynor, hello. Thank you so much for signing in. Talus Moonbreaker, one of your fast food stores would look great behind Privet Drive, and that's a really good idea. I might do something like that. And see, Paul's giving you some more great ideas, Rita. Russell Williams has just started getting into Lego again with my wife and daughter, trying to make a city for her to play with. Any advice on getting started? I have a couple of the modulars, but it's pretty expensive. Here's what I used to do for my kids. I actually have it out here. I just have it put away right now. I used to build small tables for my kids. And when I say a small table, what I would do, because with children, you want them to be able to reach in and play with everything, whether you're letting them build with the modular buildings, or if you're just doing, and I apologize if I'm blocking the camera, guys. When I lean over though, my back's not quite as nice to me as it should be. But what I would do is, whether it's sets, I don't care what it is, but build you a small table. The table should be no wider, and this is just my opinion, no wider than 30 inches, which is 3 base plates, and whatever length you want. What I used to do is I had a 70-inch by 30-inch table made. And the reason that I did that is because they had a train that ran around perfectly around the outer perimeter. And with doing that, I put 1 row of buildings on this side. I could build, depending on what age your kids are, when my kids were very little, I would build little buildings and I would do them dollhouse style. What I mean by dollhouse style is on the front side, I had a row of street, I had the train track, and then all the buildings on the back side were open. And that way it gives your kids the opportunity to just walk around to the back side of the table and sit and play inside of the buildings, and then they can come around to the front side of the table and sit and play on the outside of the buildings. To me, that is the best way to do a kid display, for them to be able to play with it. And then you can still make unique buildings, and they're less for a kid when you're building something and you're playing with it, for the kids anyway. You want it to be, somewhere in this vicinity on your kids. So when they come up to it, everything's just right there and they can reach their arms forward. You know what I mean? So you want to take that into consideration. And that's why I say, you know what, I'll even just show you guys real quick. Because I do have my old table that I used for my kids. And all I would do is, and for legs, you just cut 2x4s up. I mean, it's nothing technical, nothing hard. But you just cut your 2x4s. I just did a basic 2x4 frame. And bear with me, because I got to dig this out of my closet. And I have a bunch of stuff packed in here. But I always kept this little table, number 1, for an example for people, but number 2, you just never know when you want another building table. But again, just to show you, this is 30 by 60. It's just a real quick, simple 2x4 frame. You put 1 2x4 down the middle. Again, 30 by 6, or yeah, I think this is 30 by 60. Might be 30 by 70, whatever it was, but this is the biggest you'd want to do for your kids. And then again, you can run a train all the way around that outside slope. You can run a street right here, and then you can put a row of houses here. And it works really good for a kid display. Let me put this back over here. Now I'm out of breath carrying all that crap. Oh. Okay. If she can handle those, Russell, I would recommend doing what I just said, is build you a table about that size, and then she could play with them. Because even with them being modular, she can still pull them apart. It's just, a lot of it depends on your kid, and only you are gonna know how your kid will play or handle with stuff. I had a boy, had boys, so the reason that I'm saying that is because boys are a little bit more destructive than girls. Girls are more into the play, where boys are into, oh look, Spider-Man came, smash! You know what I mean? Freddie Faz says, hi, I was wondering how much you put a switch track on a Mills. How would you put a switch track on a Mills? I have a video on that. I would recommend you go look that up. It's under my train track videos, if I'm not mistaken. I give links to different sites for instructions and everything for that. And you are more than welcome, Russell. I'm glad I could help you. And like I said, trust me, you'll be happy and your daughter will be happy if you do what I'm saying. Because you'll be able to build stuff like you want to do, and she'll be able to play with it like she wants to do. Just remember, they are little, so try and keep the buildings on the smaller size. Is all the only other piece of advice I was going to give, because if you go too big with them, they are more likely to break them up. And typically what I did, again, for my kids when they were very young, I always made everything rigid. So if they knock something over or whatever, they're knocking the whole thing over. I think I'm almost done with all of the fence pieces. Yes, boys are very heavy-handed, to say the least. Oh. How can you get shipments to your house for Lego? Just have them ship it right to your house. There is no restrictions or anything if you're buying from Lego Shop at Home or even Amazon or any of that. Just order your stuff and ship it right to you. And come on. Get on there. There you go. And we'll put you right there. There, looking better already. So now that gives you guys kind of an idea of how I wanted Privet Drive to look. Butters here says, do you plan to keep the double yellow line for the Privet Drive? I'm still on the fence about it. I thought about getting rid of it, to be perfectly honest. We were having that discussion last night in last night's live stream. Michael was saying, good idea. We have 11 grandkids, 1-year-old all the way up to 12. And what's even better about that, Michael, especially with having little kids those age categories, is you could build the table like what I'm saying, and then you can go to Big Lots, and they sell these awesome folding, and I thought I had some out here, and I don't see them. I don't want to dig for them. But they have these awesome little boxes, for lack of a better word, with handles on them that you can fold out, and you pop a little piece of cardboard in the bottom of them. That way it's a soft piece, because kids have a tendency to fall on stuff, trip on stuff, lean on stuff. They won't break, is the reason I'm suggesting these. But you can use those to hold minifigs and parts and trees and whatever you want and shove them under the table. That way when the grandkids aren't there playing with anything, it's easily cleaned up and it keeps your sanity in your house clean too. Yes, you can whiten your bricks by soaking them in peroxide in direct sunlight, totally submerged for at least 2 hours. When I say soak them in peroxide, I don't mean fully soak them. Trying to figure out how to be a little more clear on that. You want to do a peroxide water mix. So I would do like 50-50, 50% peroxide, 50% water. But again, you want to make sure that everything's totally submerged. What I recommend is get like a 4 or 5, something like that, quart container, which is like the containers that I use to store my parts in. You put them in that, and it needs to be warm outside. But if you don't, sunlight works best. Let me say it this way. You can buy certain lights. You can buy even LED lights that will emit the UV lighting that will help convert them to white. You may have to soak them longer though. But the quickest way to get them to come back to white is direct sunlight with that peroxide solution that I was just talking about. And I am trying to debate. I'm pretty happy with how this is looking. I think I want to add a little bit more plants. So let me go grab a few more little pieces. Give me one moment, guys. One momento. I'm going to walk back to the back of the barn once again and get a few more pieces. Yeah, Rita, it depends where you're at, because you're right. A lot of the areas where I'm at, residential areas, do have the lines. Some of them are there, but they're just so wore out you can barely see them, and then some residential areas have nothing at all. So it's kind of a give and a take. But I have debated on ripping that out and just putting a gray line straight down the center, because with me not having the edge lines already either, it to me kind of looks a little goofy. That's why I may rip those back off. But that's how I typically build all of my road plates. So that's why I just went ahead and threw it together that way. I did remove the edge line though, because that's not something, definitely not something you're gonna see. Or again, I have seen edge lines even here as well in Michigan, but it's not always that common. Yes, you have missed a few streams, Butters. I did that because I don't want to have a street that's running over through a railroad crossing. I wanted it to be kind of a dead end. So I decided to go ahead and go that route. But I wouldn't say you missed a lot of streams. I just did that last night. So you're not too far off, or you haven't missed too much anyway. Let's go. Let's see. Let's just put a little bit of greenery right around the base of this one. Not a lot, just a little. Just to give it a little added growth. And then I'm thinking, because I did a water fountain there, I got the Privet drive sign there. I'm thinking I might put, let's see, let's put a little bit of greenery right here too. Just a little fluff, nothing super fancy. Just a little fluff. I'm not even gonna go any further than that. We'll just leave it like that because they're supposed to be cutting their grass and all that good stuff. I think that's gonna look pretty good for the most part. I do need to get some minifigs placed in through here, so I'm trying to think of what I want to use for minifigs even. Good evening, Brick Farmer. How are you, my friend? Thank you so much, Peanut Lee. Says, looks amazing. It's whatever vine works best for you for your swamp, man. I would say for a swamp, it would be the green ones. When I say green, I don't know what color you call it. It would be olive green, I think is what they are. It's like the little shoot pieces. And what do I want to do next? I'm almost thinking. I'm thinking. My mind doesn't think very well here lately. You know what? Let's take a couple of these little stem pieces back over here. We'll add a little bit of that too. I think that'll be a nice little touch of character. So we'll put a little one of those there. We'll put a few more of these over here. And you got it, Dale. It does actually depend on the city ordinance and where you're at. Like I said, every place is different. Like here where I live, part of the problem is, or part of the reasoning is, why there's a lot of that, is we have dense, because I guess the best way I can explain it, dense residential areas still have the painted lines. Areas, like what I mean by that is up in town, not where I'm at. Areas like where I'm at, there is no street lines at all in the residential areas. But again, up in town, where everything is just packed everywhere, there is painted lines on every subdivision street. And good evening to you, Jim. What are the best elements to use for brick-built roads? 1x12s, 1x16s. If you don't want, because when I first started playing around with it, I'll be perfectly honest, I I learned a lot from doing the Mills built roads. And the roads in front of my airport are all done with 1x2s. And the problems that you have with that is you have extremely noticeable, which there's still, you can still see a slight gap here when you have the difference in the street, but it's not as bad as you would notice with a 1x2. So I really highly recommend, if you're going to do streets, the longer the piece, the better. And part of the reasoning for that is on the smaller pieces, what happens is the tolerances are so tight with Lego, the smaller pieces start to flex and they end up shrinking when you start putting them in a long line, to the point that you'll have a huge gap between your two road plates. So it can start getting a kind of ugly. That's why I recommend the longer pieces. And Guy Martin, hi, how are you? No, I have not tested the lights yet. I still got to get an extra plug for this guy. And that's what I was just trying to think of, and I got to bring an extension cord over. Give me one more second. I am still looking for a few things. I can steal this for now, just so I can plug those in. And there you go. Steve has given you a great example. He uses 1x8s. Like I said, I really personally, I wouldn't go anything smaller than a 1x6. And I know that sounds horrible, because going that small, or I should say going that large of a brick, is a lot more money. But another good option, and Steve is one of those people that does this also. So, and I can tell you from looking at his, they really do look great. And another option is you can do black roads. Now I do the light blue gray, but keep in mind you can do black. Quite simply, just think of it as being blacktop roads. And the black paved roads look really good. At least in my opinion anyway, they look really good. And bear with me, I am trying to find a plug, a cord, something that I can give me a little bit of length. There we are. I think this one will work. To plug this guy in. And let's see, there was a plug, so my next plug should be right here. Let me move my helmet out of the way. I think this will give me enough length to plug that dude in. I think I can. There we go. If it'll stay over here for a minute. I'm just going to set it on the floor. And thank you, Chris. I totally get why he likes the roads. I know they are pretty, they look very good. Let me put it that way. You can add a lot more details to them, but they get expensive quick, buddy. And for a kid, I don't recommend them. I recommend the new road plates. Ta-da! I hope you guys can see that. So now we have Privet Drive, and Privet Drive is lit up, my friends. And I think, and I'm trying to figure out how I can hold this here so I can see it. I want to walk around to the front. And what I need to do is start mounting some of my power supplies. There we go. Absolutely, Jim. Blacktop roads, it'll save you a ton of money. And there you go, Dale. That's another great look, is the red brick roads. It's definitely a good look. And thank you, Guy Martin, Kenneth, Talis Moon, Greg, Chris Aubrey. Anyway, there we have it, guys. And you can see, and I actually have another light on over there. I could probably turn that off. Let's see. See if that'll dim her out a little bit. Just to see if it'll, I hope it doesn't make it too dark anyway. Now that's totally dark in the Lego barn. So that gives you guys a true image angle of how that looks. And as you can see, because one of my main concerns when I did all this was I didn't want every house to be illuminated the same way. I wanted there to be different aspects, different color, different, you know, different feelings. So like the back kitchen in this one's got a white light. I have a yellow light here. I got a white light there. I got a very dim yellow brick here. And I really tried to focus on making it get a more natural look. And then something else, and I can pry that open a little bit more. I even had the one garage where I filled it in a little bit just to try and make it look more natural and real. Like I said, though, I still need to get the minifigs on here. But the next thing that I really want to do, and yes, I do have the one little TV that I built in that one room, so you can kind of see the TV flashing in there. I want to put a few houses on this side, and I'm going to light it up the same way. And hopefully I can kind of call this little section done and then start moving back that way. So this weekend, and I'm going to be perfectly frank, because I don't have to do everything custom. I know that is what everything in my city typically is, but to try and speed things along, because I'm really wanting to get a lot of things lit up this year. What I'm going to be doing to put the houses across the street from Privet Drive. Years ago, Lego used to make some really amazing 3-in-1 creator sets that were houses. And what I'm going to be doing is using some of my old sets, start opening some of my old sets. Some of them I could probably sell for a lot of money, but I'm going to use some of those sets to quite simply fill in this side. I might even put more houses on this side, and that's why I didn't worry so much about the driveway locations, because I wanted that to match the movie. And then this side is going to be a totally different look. And then I'm even going to put a house here and here. And honestly, I was contemplating, I have the old sand green Monster Hunter's house. I was almost contemplating putting that here. Just because I want to try and get a few sets displayed throughout my city amongst all my custom stuff, because it'll help fill things in kind of a little bit quicker. There is no way, that's how that light comes, so there's no way to lower the flickering on that TV. Mike says he's seen them and loves how they look. Talking to Steve. Phil Rowe, am I saying that right? Fico Bun says hello, and hello to you. Rob says, and Daryl said let there be light. Well, I am an electrician, I do have to throw that out there. But, and I'm going to ignore Paul, that's what's holding my power supply up here. But like I said, another thing I do need to do is I got to get a couple power supplies mounted under the table, because I'm going to light up all these official Lego sets. I'm going to probably do most of this custom though. And the reason, instead of me buying, because I know they sell some really amazing light kits, don't get me wrong, but the reason that I'm going to probably go custom with lighting all my buildings is quite simply this. I want to be able to unplug them, so that way if I need to pull the building apart, it comes apart easy. And most of the companies that sell the lighting kits, at least the kits that are on the inexpensive side, it's one USB plug coming in and then all the wires are attached to it. And I don't want to have my lighting throughout my city that way. I want my lighting to be just as modular as the buildings themselves. I want plug and play lighting. So that is why I'm going to be doing things in that particular fashion. Absolutely, there's always a random house. I totally agree with you, Butters. And you know what? Just for grins and giggles, I don't have it on a Mills plate or nothing, but I do have it sitting right here, built. And it needs a good dusting, but I'm going to grab it anyway. Let's just see how it would look over there. I had even thought about, because I have the Simpsons house, I had even thought about putting the Simpsons house across the street or something. But just to give kind of an idea. And let me get this plug out of here. But I thought about doing something like this, just to give an idea. I don't know how I would like that though. Let me get back and look. I don't know, it might work. It's such a big house though. Yes, and here I can even show you because I have a couple different versions. I have a white 3-in-1 set, and every design in these particular sets to me was absolutely amazing. Where are they at? See, here's one. Here's two. And I thought I had a third style. Or is it I just have multiple boxes? Oh, I guess I got multiple boxes of each style. Oh, here's a third one. That one was more of a cabin style. And wait, no. I had the beach house too. That's right. That was yellow. I wouldn't want the beach house here though. I think that would look funky. I also have the surf shop. Yeah, that wouldn't look right there either. These three might work though, and I will show you guys what I'm talking about. Let me bring these guys back over here. Because I have several of these, and that's why I thought about opening them up, slapping them on a Mills plate, and then going ahead and placing them in the city. Because they're nice, small, houses. So for example, you've got this one, which is 31038, but again, there's multiple displays you can do. And I'm gonna try and bring it up there for you. You have one winter design and then two, we'll call it summer designs on this particular one. And then we also have this one. And I do have another one, I just gotta go find it. But this is 31069. And again, there's three different designs. I guess I should show you the back. So you could do three different houses with each one of these. And then I even have this guy here, which is 31012. And mind you, all of these sets are from about, I'm gonna say they're anywhere from 8 to 10 years old, but, and then there's the back of that set. But some really cool, simple designs that I think would look good, just swapped over to a Mills plate, and then I can just pop each house in its proper location. And then I can put the street lights out in front of it as well. And you know what, guys? I'm gonna go over to the build table, to live in the studio barn table. Just to make things a little easier for me to read, because I still haven't upgraded my monitor yet. Oh, there we go. No, I don't know why they stopped doing those 3-in-1 houses yet either. To me, those were absolutely amazing sets, and I always bought a couple every time they came out with one, but for whatever reason, they stopped them. Okay, Fox Leader says they're from 04 to 08, so that shows you how old those are. But like I said, I personally, and I know I have one more, and it was tan, is what I remember the exterior of the house being. I have to find it. I got too many sets over there to kind of look through. Mike says you should put a hoarder's house with crap all over the lawn, never pick up. That would drive Paul nuts. You're absolutely correct on that. No, I agree, Kenneth. I'm thinking now that I have, just to go back to the studio cam for just a minute, now that I have the Monster Hunter's house over there, I don't like how it looks. It's too big. That definitely needs to go somewhere else. It needs to be put, I'm not sure where, but it needs to go somewhere else. I'm almost thinking maybe that'll go near the airport, because it's near the airport. It was abandoned because the airport bought it and they haven't tore it down yet or something. And I say that because next to my airport, there's a house that's quite large, just like that, that was abandoned. And they turned it into a historical home. They've actually started cleaning it up, but it looked just like that, pretty beat up there for quite a while. And how you doing, Lumberjack? Okay, I didn't think they were all old. Peter Wadges says one of those houses was held up from 2018. It was open back unless you held two together. Okay. And like I said, I didn't think they were all old. I think the white one with the red roof bricks was the old one. And then there's another one that's old. And then one that I didn't show you guys, and I'd have to go dig around some more, is a gray house. And those were from the 2008, 10, whatever area. Lego treehouse, I don't think would look right in that. if I took the treehouse portion of it out of it, I think it would look right. The sizing of it, though, is kind of too big for that little subdivision area, in my personal opinion. But, I mean, it is what it is. And Michael says you're making fun of my house. Not making fun of your house at all. The Burroughs house, that would, you know, because it is Harry Potter there. But I'm trying to, with the Harry Potter stuff, don't get me wrong, I'm trying to put Harry Potter everywhere throughout my city, but I'm trying to do little splashes of it, you know what I mean? Like, at some point, I fully intend on making a farming area. And if you are a fan of Harry Potter, you know that, looking at the movie anyway, the Burroughs was actually built like in the middle of a farm field. So to me, that would be a more appropriate place for that particular house anyway. Just my thoughts anyway. Dog is cool, says you should do a playground from the scene where Harry Potter and all that I like that. And then he gets, yes, that's a very good idea. From the Sirius Black and the Knights bus, yes, yes, yes. And then I could even put the Knights bus down there at the circle to turn around. So that's a very good idea. I like that. And that, again, that would give me a little splash of Harry Potter. Because I don't want to overdo my city with Harry Potter, but I would like to do little splashes of it throughout my city because I do love Harry Potter. And as we all know, Harry Potter is supposed to be in our real world every day, and we just don't notice it. And that was kind of my thinking with it and why I wanted to include portions of the Harry Potter world throughout the city. But yes, a small park would definitely look good. And I want to hide the train tracks somehow with some trees too, just to go back over there. Because you can see the train track is extremely close to that turnaround, so I'm going to have to put a fence or something down there and kind of hide that away. But yes, they do like to be sneaky and keep stuff from us muggles. Rita Wilson says, do you ever think your big buildings are too big for your scale of your city? I don't know the math, but it seems really tall for the size of your modulars. I personally think it looks good because large cities have large buildings like that, but that's just my opinion. Russell says, I got the medieval blacksmith set for parts. I feel a little bad because it's a cool looking model. It's a very cool looking set. But if you got it for parts, man, you got it for parts. Don't feel bad about it. And then Adam said he suggested something earlier. What did I miss? Something. Fox Leader says those sets were from the same run in 2017. I didn't think they were too old, but Fantastic Beasts, that would be a good idea. I'll have to look and see what Fantastic Beast stuff I have. So I do like that. Definitely. Anyway, though, guys, I am getting tired, and I have one more day of work, and then I can be off, and I'm going to try and do a lot more stuff out here. But I'm exhausted, and from leaning over, that actually and it doesn't stress me out, but it wears me out quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and lead into the stream here. But before I end the stream, I want to do my favorite thing, which is roll that beautiful bean footage. And with rolling that beautiful bean footage, I always like to give a very, very, very special thank you to all the awesome people that have donated during the stream. And tonight, I can already tell you that, and why do I not see Brick Sergeant? Is it because it glitched? Let me try it one more time. Because Brick Sergeant donated at the beginning of the stream. Let me hit that one more time. But my thing kind of went goofy. Come on, I want him to appear. Anyway, we're going to give a very special thanks to, I'm going to say Brick Sergeant, just because I know for a fact that he did donate. R. Claxton, Brett Tucker, Get the Brick, Michael Fujiwara, and Kenneth Swan. Thank all you guys. You're all awesome. Thank you so much for the donations, because it's donations like those that keep me going and keep me buying my insane Lego hauls. And also, I want to give a very special thank to our newest subscriber, Adina Krujison, and I hope I said that right. But anyway, though, guys, I am exhausted, and I need to get my butt in bed for my last day of work tomorrow. It's been a heck of a week for me. I can't even begin to tell you how bad it's been. But as always, thank you so much for coming to Bevan's Bricks. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share below. And hopefully we will see you guys all next time on Bevan's Bricks. And I hope you all have a blessed day and a blessed night. And God help us, let's get to the weekend tomorrow. Take care, everybody.